What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadski, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video. So day 1 of the Pirate King Adventures against Bonnie is now live. So I've got 3 separate teams for you guys in this video, just preemptive teams that I quickly slapped together. Once we get deeper into the event and over the next couple of days, I'll probably give you guys some additional teams that should be able to get the job done. Of course, these 3 teams are working currently between the levels of 60 and 80, and once you get to level 80, of course, the gimmicks will slightly change, and then once you get to level 100, the gimmicks will change even further. So let's have a deep dive in regards to the team that you're seeing right here. The whole goal of this is because on the final stage, there's going to be Threshold and Rainbow Shield. The way that we're dealing with that is by using just Zoro's special. Zoro enables his own normal attacks to go through defensive effects, so we're just enabling Zoro just to kill. So it's really not going to be that big of an issue, because when you're in, below level 80, the enemies don't really have that much HP. I mean, to be fair, the enemies don't really have much HP below level 100. They've got hardly any, so it's not really that big of a deal. Once you get after level 100 though, the gimmicks will start to ramp up and the HP will drastically change. So this team here doesn't use any of the new characters that came out in the Sugo Fest. You do see we have Dracula Mihawk on the team. Definitely not required. He's pretty cool though, because he does deal with attack down on the last stage, and he does get rid of the damage threshold, which is pretty clutch. So you don't really have to use Mihawk specifically. You can replace Mihawk for basically any character that can get rid of the damage threshold is the most important thing. So that's pretty much how it works. We do use Jinbei on the stage 4 to get rid of increased defense, along with that Frankie special ability. Specifically don't have to use that Jinbei or Frankie, but these characters are on the boosted list, so you want to try and use as many characters on the boosted list as you can, as it'll give you more drops at the end of the quest. So that's how you're going to do it. And then, of course, on the last stage, as we mentioned, we talked about those defensive effects that are there. With Zoro Special, we're just going to enable him to basically go through the defensive effects. It's not really going to be that big of an issue. All things considered, though, Mihawk is just going to kill anyway because of his EX Super or Super Class condition, which can give himself that tandem slot. And also the special ability removing the damage threshold does make things a lot easier. Moving on to our secondary team here, we're going to be using the new Kizaru as a captain with the friend captain of Saint J. Garcia Saturn. Now we are using one of the new rare recruits, Bluegrass, in the bottom right hand corner of the team. This character is arguably the most important character in this entire new batch for this content. So if you are lucky enough to pull the Bluegrass rare recruit, you want to use that unit because it literally deals with everything. Now looking at the gimmicks on stage 4, you have to deal with block slots, there's special bind, there's increased defense, and there's resilience eventually once you get deeper into the event. And Bluegrass legitimately deals with everything on that stage, as well as providing you with an orb boost, which is just absurd. The 6+ Zorojuro is really good for stage 3 here, because you can use the special to deal with the special reverse that you're dealt, and it also gives a pretty solid orb boost to Dex, Driven, and Slasher characters. And then on the final stage, as we mentioned, there's going to be that Rainbow Shield. Saint J. Garcia Saturn's special ability removes all turns of enemy Rainbow Shield, so he's going to be perfect for that. There is also the damage threshold, and that is going to be really annoying once you get deeper into the event, because I think it maxes out at 6 turns of damage threshold. What we're doing here is we're using the York rare recruit, or it's the York free-to-play unit. With double special launch, you can remove up to 6 turns of damage threshold, which is perfect. And then if you can fulfill the condition for having 4 or more characters on the crew that are 5 Elders, Celestial, Dragon, or Navy, when you activate the special of Saint J. Garcia Saturn, you're going to get the overhealing buff, and if you do get the overhealing buff, you get access to his EX Super, as you see in this clip right here. And by using the EX Super, you get the additional damage for Driven, and you also get the ability to remove attack down. So J. Garcia Saturn and Bluegrass, if you have those two, your experience in this event is going to be way easier. And now we're moving on to my own personal team that I've constructed for this event so far. Now, one thing that is kind of annoying is on stage 3, you will eventually have to deal with hunger. And because of that, you know, they want you to use Bonnie. Bonnie, like, deals with the hunger and also has the ability to remove the threshold on the final stage. Obviously, I don't have Bonnie, so the way that we're dealing with it is just via supports. We've got the support Vivi on Zoro. We have the int, it was like an int, was it a treasure map rare recruit Hina, which it attaches to any int striker, which of course Saturn is. And then when we use Saturn special, it's going to remove 2 turns of damage threshold. We have the 2 turns of damage threshold via Zoro's support. And then we also have Ace on the team. Now, this Ace is really great because he's on the boosted list. He's a previous PKA character. He has the hunger potential ability, and we can have the support of Cornelia and Kotatsu, whatever their name is, to remove 3 turns of damage threshold on the final stage. So great combo between all of these characters and those supports to remove all the turns of damage threshold and also the hunger without actually having to use Bonnie, which is really, really great. So I'm expecting to use this team pretty deep into this event. We'll see how long it lasts for. It's going to be interesting to see and find out how it actually goes, but I do think this team will be pretty solid in this event, so we'll see how things go, but I think it should work pretty well. The thing about it though is that if you do have Bonnie, you actually can achieve the 10 times attack boost, which will enable you to get rainbow damage with J. Garcia Saturn, which would be awesome to use, of course, but at the end of the day, shouldn't be that big of a problem. I think this team will be working for a decent amount of time in this event. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, though. As I said, I'll bring you guys more videos over the next couple of days against PKA. Hopefully you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to go ahead and leave a like, and if you want to stay up to date with all the content I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. On that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.
Sawa na, Mushi domo.